Okay, welcome back, warrior. We are reading Genesis chapter 44. Okay, we are now at a new stage in the Joseph story. And it says, Joseph arranges to stop the return of his brothers to Canaan. Judah offers himself in place of Benjamin for their father's sake. Because now he's testing to see if they really did change, right? Okay, so here we go. And he commanded the steward of his house, saying, fill the men's sacks with food as much as they can carry, and put every man's money in his sack's mouth. And put my cup, the silver cup, in the sack's mouth of the youngest, and his corn money. And he did according to the word that Joseph had spoken. As soon as the morning was light, the men were sent away, they and their donkeys and animals, okay? And when they were gone out of the city, and not yet far off, Joseph said unto his steward, up, follow after the men, and when thou dost overtake them, say unto them, wherefore have ye rewarded evil for good? Is not this in which my Lord drinketh, and whereby indeed he divideth? Ye have done evil in so doing. And he overtook them, and he spake unto them these same words. Okay, so like a lot of stuff transpired. He's like, okay, say this, and then, okay, so now we're there. And they said unto him, wherefore saith my Lord these words? God forbid that thy servants should do according to this thing. Behold, the money which we found in our sacks' mouths we brought again unto thee out of the land of Canaan. How then should we steal out of thy Lord's house silver or gold? With whomever of thy servants it be found, both let him die, and we also will be my Lord's bondmen. And he said, wow, these guys like with the dramatic, like, if someone in our company have stolen it, you can kill them. Like, what? Like, I love that they are so eager to like kill people and die. Like, why? What is that? Like, what about their culture? It's all about like, I will die if that has happened. Like, things happen and mistakes happen. Like, don't be so dramatic. It's not that deep. Like, if that happened, then maybe it was there by accident, right? Like, did you ever think that could happen, right? Anyways, so dramatic, these peeps. Okay, so, and he said, now also, let it be according unto thy word, unto your words. He with whom it is found shall be my servant, and ye shall be blameless. Which, they know this stuff, right? Like, things have happened in their lives that they should not be doing this kind of stuff, right? Oh, it's crazy. Okay, then verse 11. Then they speedily took down every man his sack to the ground, and opened every man his sack. Like, did they search the sacks before they went? No. How can they make promises like this? If you find it in somebody's sack, you can kill them. What the heck? Like, there's no way, okay? No way people these days do that stuff. Like, if you find it in my sack, I don't know how it got there, honestly. That's what I would have said. Because I basically slept and woke up and left. Like, I had no time to do anything, you know, like that's kind of what, but I guess, anyway, that's just how they are. Okay, so verse 12, and he searched and began at the eldest and left at the youngest, and the cup was found in Benjamin's sack. Of course, because that's where Joseph planted it on purpose, right? Then they rent their clothes. I know, it's so funny to me because, like, the fact that they're just so dramatic about stuff, like, it's like intense, right? It's like, I don't know. And maybe that's the problem with our world now, is that nobody keeps their word. Nobody makes covenants. Nobody likes to make promises. Zero people like commitments. You know, maybe that's what it is. Back then it was like your word was your bond, and you didn't have to sign, 50 pages of a contract in order to have a contract between two people, like maybe that's what it was. But anyway, so they rent their clothes and laded every man, what does that mean? Laded every man his donkey and returned to the city. Okay, so they all basically were like, okay, I guess we're all going back. And Judah and his brethren came to Joseph's house, for he was yet there, and they fell before him on the ground. And Joseph said unto them, what deed is this that ye have done? Wot ye not that such a man as I can certainly divine? I don't know what that means. And Judah said, what shall we say unto my Lord? What shall we speak, or how shall we clear ourselves? God hath found out the iniquity of thy servants. Behold, we are my Lord's servants, both we and he also, with whom the cup is found. Now, see, that's different, because they said something about being killed, okay? And he said, God forbid that I should do so, but the man in whose hand the cup is found, he shall be my servant, and as for you, get you up in peace unto your father. Then Judah came near unto him and said, O my Lord, let thy servant, I pray thee, speak a word in my Lord's ears. And let not thine anger burn against thy servant, for thou art even as Pharaoh. Okay, so much is happening right now. Okay, we're on verse 19, but we wanted to kind of recap a little bit for you. So Joseph had now witnessed many things that would help him understand that his brothers had changed, right? He had overheard them talk about the moment they sold Joseph and witnessed his anguish. And he saw that they returned the money he had put in their sacks. He saw that Benjamin was well, and he saw that they had returned for Simeon. Now there will be one more test, right? That they will protect, to see if they will protect Benjamin, who was now the favored son, right? Instead of being jealous and envious of him, to see if they would protect him, right? Because they did not protect him when he was the youngest, right? So now 11 brothers were preparing to leave Egypt, and as before, the steward returned with the money in their sacks. Returned the money in their sacks. In addition, Joseph told the steward to put the silver cup that was in Joseph's court into Benjamin's sack, right? Joseph called this his divining cup, which is a common Egyptian practice. Divining cups were filled with water, and then predictions or answers were received in the cup. Clearly, it does not work for Pharaoh's dreams, though. So, anyway, because they're fake. It's fake stuff happening right there. Anyway, so different scholars suggest different divination techniques that were used, such as the way the rays of light fell upon the cup would have a certain meaning, or others suggest that melted wax was poured in and the shapes would hold specific interpretations. It never says the text that Joseph used divination, but calling it a divining cup would make it of greater worth and add importance to the cup being stolen. Right? Because Joseph obviously didn't use that. So Joseph sent this steward after his brothers, who then accused the brothers of taking the cup, because that was what he was supposed to say. And the brothers protested and made a foolish offer by saying that if it is found among them, that the person should die. Right? So crazy. I don't even know how people just get there. Right? Let's just go straight to death. Anyway, the bags, I also feel like, do these guys play video games? Like that's what it feels like. Because our teen talks about death all the time, because it's all about like killing and dying on the video games. Anyway, but these guys didn't play video games, so I don't know. The bags were then searched, and it was found in Benjamin's sack, which of course the steward expected because he put it there. But the discovery brought great grief, and they rent their clothes, and they then made the painful journey back to Egypt. So who knows how long they journeyed to leave, and now they're coming back, right? And they were all like happy, like we're all leaving, it's going to be great, but shh. Anyway, the brothers then were taken to Joseph's house. Joseph questioned them. Why would they do such a thing? And then Joseph declared that Benjamin must be his servant, and the other brothers could return in peace. So Joseph had created a situation to see if the brothers would again leave the favored brother as a slave in Egypt, right? Because it was the same thing, right? Except this time it was kind of payment for something that they had done, right? Even though they didn't really do it. Judah then stepped forward. And it is important to note that it was Judah who had come up with the idea to sell Joseph those many years before. So Judah suggested to sell Joseph as the slave. If you see Genesis 37, 26 to 27, you'll see that. Okay, and Judah said unto his brethren, What profit is it if we slay our brother and conceal his blood? Come, let us sell him to the Ishmaelites, and let not our hand be upon him. For he is our brother and our flesh, and his brethren were content. Okay, see, so that was what we read there. Okay, so verse 19. My Lord asked his servants, saying, have ye a father or a brother? And we said unto my Lord, we have a father, an old man, and a child of his old age, a little one, and his brother is dead, and he alone is left of his mother, and his father loveth him. And thou saidest unto the servants, bring him down unto me, that I may set mine eyes upon him. And we said unto my Lord, the lad cannot leave his father, for if he should leave his father would die. Right? So he's like, Judah is just literally pleading for Benjamin, right? Elder Marion G. Hanks gave this sermon around the phrase in verse 34. Oh, never mind. I'll wait till to read that in a second then. So verse 23, and thou saidst unto thy servants, except your youngest brother come down with you, ye shall see my face no more. And it came to pass, when we came up unto thy servant my father, we told him the words of my Lord, and our father said, go again and buy us the little food. And we said, we cannot go down if our youngest brother be with us, then we will go down, for we may not see the man's face except our youngest brother be with us. And thy servant my father said unto us, ye know that my wife bare me 2 sons, and the one went out from me, and I said, surely he is torn in pieces, and I saw him not since. And if you take this also from me, and mischief befall him, ye shall bring down my gray hairs with sorrow to the grave. So they were like pretty much quoting the dad, like, see, this is what Jacob/Israel said. Now, therefore, when I come to thy servant my father, and the lad be not with us, seeing that his life is bound up in the lad's life, it shall come to pass, when he seeth the lad, that the lad is not with us, that he will die. And thy servants shall bring down the gray hairs of thy servant our father with sorrow to the grave. For thy servant became surety for the lad unto my father, saying, if I bring him not unto thee, then I shall bear the blame to my father forever. So he's trying to take responsibility, right? Kind of late in the game, but you know. Now therefore I pray thee, let thy servant abide instead of the lad, a bondman to my Lord, and let the lad go up with his brethren. For how shall I go up to my father, and the lad be not with me? Lest peradventure I see the evil that shall come on my father. Okay. So here's a quote from Elder Marion D. Hanks. He says, fathers, priesthood leaders, young men need models. The unspoken sermon is heard most clearly and learned most strongly by those near at hand. It is not through definition or diatribe that young men acquire values. They do not learn ethical principles. They emulate ethical or unethical people. They do not analyze or list attributes they wish to develop. They identify with people who seem to have them. What boys need is not lectures about notions of love, human relationships, or God, but to be exposed to unconditional love, unselfish service, to the reality of God in reverence and worship and humble prayer. And that is why they need models of what a man is, or what a man at his best can be. Will you young men, as I sit down, hear these words of Moroni? Condemn us not because of our imperfection, but rather give thanks unto God, that he hath made manifest unto you our imperfections, that ye may learn to be more wise than we have been. And to those a little older, these words from ancient times. For how shall I go up to my father, and the lad is not with me? Okay, end quote. Elder Marion D. Hanks, Boys Need Men, April 1974, General Conference. And I feel like every boy and man needs to listen to this talk. So, somehow discreetly throw this talk in there. April 1974 General Conference, Boys Need Men. Right? Because it's so true. And especially because it seems like boys disconnect from their mom at a certain teenage years, and they don't want to listen to me anymore. And this is just like some kind of fun fact. Is like our oldest, when we wake him up, because his room is like super close to his sister's room, we don't want his little sister's room. We don't want his alarm to wake her up because, she needs all her sleep. Anyway, so he sets his own alarm, but it's kind of low, so he's not able to wake up to it. So we wake him up. So we try to help him. And if my husband wakes him up, he wakes up. He doesn't even have to go down maybe even a second time. If I wake him up, I have to go down like 5 times to wake this kid up. Like, I don't even get it. Like, his subconscious is just like, it's mom. It doesn't matter. Like, I don't know. So anyway, it's just one of those things that boys need their fathers, right? It's just like, and their father needs to be a great example. Their father needs to talk to them. Their father needs to be righteous. Their father needs to be making good choices. Their father needs to be doing all the things, especially when they reach their teenage years, because it is the time when those boys are trying to discover who they are, right? And who they want to emulate and stuff. And before, it was more of like a subconscious thing. Now it's like more obvious to us, right? So anyway, okay. So we're going to read a little bit for Genesis chapter 44. Also, why does this section have so many chapters to read? Okay, here we go. Let's not complain. Okay. Verse 33. Now, therefore, let thy servant abide instead of the lad. Okay, so Judah, once the betrayer, became the defender. Redemption doesn't just change our record. It changes our role. Be changed. I love that so much because we have been betrayed, you know, and just like Judah once was the betrayer, he became the defender. And I love that because that is what we hope for in those who have betrayed us, is to become the defender instead. I remember giving the analogy of the Hulkbuster, if you like Avengers, okay? Hulkbuster with Iron Man. It was like Hulk turned on Iron Man, and now Iron Man's trying to protect himself against the Hulk and created this giant thing called the Hulkbuster, right? Because it was the only way that he could protect himself. Now, I'm not saying we all have to create our own Hulkbusters so that we can protect ourselves against people from our own team, right? Who is our spouse, which, you know, he's on our team. Like, that's the thing. And Satan is not on our team. And so we should be building our protection against Satan and not against our partner or our spouse, right? And or even our friends. Sometimes our friends will betray us, right? And that's just not cool. So like, in order to be all in, right, with the relationships that we have, we need to be on their side and not voice or act on those things that Satan is tempting us to do. And yes, I know it's hard to be perfect at it. And sometimes things will slip, but for the most part, we can be the cheerleader, be the supporter, be the defender that the people that we love need. Because life is already hard enough. We don't need to make it worse. We don't need to make it harder. All right, that is it for Genesis chapter 44. So until Genesis chapter 45, stay strong, warrior.